And welcome back to Life in Prison. My name's Zach, and as always, you already know what to do. Hit that fucking subscribe button, go next door, hit that bell notification button so you'll be first informed when I upload. So, it's been a minute. So what we're going to be talking about today is living life with a felony. So, as always, this video is sponsored by a Stone Collective Supply Company. My buddy Caleb over there, booming with it. Shit's growing. As always, fire merchandise. Go ahead and check the product. As I always say, his product is top notch. Go check him out. Living life with a felony. So, not only do you have hardships while you're in prison, right? You can take all these courses and classes on being released, okay? Getting back into society. It's easier said than done, because while you're in there, I mean, because once you get locked up, time stops. You know, I'm not sure, but a lot of people have noticed that when most people go to prison, it's like a time capsule. You know, for instance, me. You know, I got locked up when I was 22, got out when I was 27. Even though I'm almost 33, I still feel like I lost all that time. Like I'm trying to make up for all this lost time. You know what I'm saying? 5 years of my life is gone and I'm never getting it back. But it's like we try to make up, but once you get in, time stops. I can only imagine the people that do 10, 15, 20 years and then get out. Everything has changed. Even if you do 2, 3 years, when you get out, there's going to be so much things have changed. So you have to readapt to a whole new lifestyle. Because when you get out, they expect you to go this way. You know what I'm saying? So now they have a microscope on you. It's easier said than done trying to get ready to hit the streets while you're in prison. The moment you hit the streets, there's so many different factors in that more or less bite you in the butt, okay? Trying to get a job. Different states have different laws, and certain places will hire you, you know, more places. In West Virginia, you got IHOP, Applebee's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Subway, Starbucks, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Cracker Barrel. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good paid jobs. My first job when I actually got fired. I worked at Rural Vendors. It was a soda machine refurbishing plant, more or less. It kind of went under. But Amazon, they'll hire you. You know, they make good money there. Comcast will hire you. Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that. So, that's exactly what I did. You know what I'm saying? There's only so many places that'll take a felon. You know, and certain felons can't get certain jobs, though. If you have a violent felony, more or less. There's a lot of places that just will not take you. Certain places won't take you for drug charges and stuff. But all these factory jobs will take felons. So don't get me wrong, they pay great. Like Amazon, I think around here makes $19, $20 an hour starting out. So these places, they pay really well. But is it actually worth it though? Because when I first started working these factory jobs and then started building roof trusses, right? I'm around these gentlemen that are 40, 50, 60 years old, okay? They stay because they're making good money. They've been making good money for years. But they're so fucked up because their backs have been jacked up for years. Their arms have been jacked up for years. You know, their shoulders, this, and that, like they're fucked up. So what toll is it actually taking on you? So that's the only reason why I kind of sat back and I rethought. I'm like, so long-term going rise, right? That's where everything always goes. You think long-term. What can I do where I'm not killing myself? I mean, I'm making good money, yeah, but I'm not trying to fuck myself up at a young age to when it is time for me to retire, I won't even make it there. You see these older people out here now working 60, 70 years old, out now working because their pensions and their retirement, it's not enough. It's not enough. So what do you expect me to do? That's the hard part. So when we're released from prison, society expects us to go out and do this and to do that. it's easier for them to say because they don't have a felony on their record. They don't understand. You know how many applications you can put out? You'll go in there, have the interview. Time comes, oh, we can't hire you because you have a felony on your record. Oh, felonies, yo, you can get them expunged. You can get them expunged. Certain felonies, though, that's the thing. Certain felonies you can get expunged. As long as they are not violent felonies, you can get them expunged, but it's after 5 years of completion of parole. So, only non-violent felony convictions may be expunged. An individual may petition the court 5 years after completion of any sentence of incarceration and completion of supervision in the circuit court in the county where the convictions were occurred. So, yeah, you can get your felony expunged. Honestly, I've inquired about getting mine expunged. So, having all 3, along with 7 misdemeanors, would be $3,000. So, that, yeah, that's a great price, but you have to wait 5 years for even that point to happen. Okay, so within that time, get a job, whatever, and then pay $5 grand, $3 grand, $2 grand, however much it may be, right, to get this stuff expunged. But is it really getting expunged? Because Google someone's name, everything will pop up. Mugshots, their arrest records. So, is the whole internet wiped clean? Like, you're not going to wipe the whole internet clean. Like, you go on Bing, boom. You go on Ask Jeeves, boom. Go on Google, boom. There's so many different search engines that you can get on. So, is it actually completely gone? And how far does it actually go? So, if you try to get a government job, right? A high-up government job. They do some crazy background checks. Will they be able to find that? When you tell people that you have a felony, or even a misdemeanor, they automatically start looking at you differently. So, I was able to go and get my medical degree, right? So, this is the messed up part. And the only person I can blame at the end of the day is myself, right? So, you can go to medical school, get your degree, as long as you don't have any drug offenses or violent offenses, alright? So you can go get your degree, but the moment you actually start trying to get a job, that's where everything is stopped. When I tell you that they'll allow you to pay the money to go and get these things, right? To better your life. You know what I mean? But they stop you at the door, because most of the time they'll ask, well, how much experience do you have? None. I'm fresh out of school. Well, you have a felony, so, okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. I might have a felony. This felony has nothing to do with this job entitles, though. What's preventing? Well, you have no experience. Okay, I'll bite that one a couple times. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that. Went to ophthalmology. Had nothing to do with what I went to school for, but it was my foot in the door, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, beggars can't be choosers. So I took it. Was there for a year. Didn't work out. You know why it didn't work out? I'll tell you why it didn't work out. The company that I worked for is based out of Pennsylvania. Mind you, my felonies and all my charges are in West Virginia. So that's why West Virginia would never hire me. Ever. At all. Doesn't matter how much experience I have. Doesn't matter. My felonies are in West Virginia. So they ain't fucking with me. I get this job at a PA because PA does a PA only background check. I've never been in trouble in PA. So we good. Start working. Ophthalmology office. Did cataracts, glaucoma pretty much all day. That's pretty much what I did all day. All the refractors is eyes, alright? So did that for about a year. The company that I worked for sold out to a larger, or merged with a larger company. Well, that company was nationwide. So with them being in multiple states, they ran a nationwide background check. So they called me in the office. They're like, okay, so what's all this about? I'm like, yeah, it was 2011. It's 2018, 2019, baby. What's up? It always puzzled me why. I'd been with your company for a year now. You obviously liked me, gave me multiple raises, kept me. But once this other stuff popped up, now you're a completely different person. So what's the difference though? What's changed? Well, the policy says this. Alright, so let me ask you this though. With you, never been in my situation before. Always shout for wanting to help people and for growth and for change. Most of the time, that's all these company slogans. Growth, change, and unity, right? Okay. So if you want your team to grow, what's the difference with me? I've been a part of your team. I've been in there. Been working for you. Been in multiple Christmas parties. You got me a gift. So with words on a paper, that'll fire me. That doesn't make who I am. At the end of the day, yes, I made those choices, and I can only blame myself. But how do you expect someone to change and want to do better if literally you won't let them, right? You have the power to put on paper yes or no. All right. So if you like me and you want to see change, what's the problem? When I tell you that I've been to over 30 interviews, right? 30 interviews. And I had the job. Swear to God, had the job. From urology to urgent cares to family medicine to certain places where there was pharmaceuticals involved, right? Had the job. Like, you have this job. Next stage is back on track and urine. Okay? Got it. Good. Go take the pee test. Fine. Pass it. Right? Now comes the background check. So, I'm sorry to inform you, but we have decided to go in a different direction with another candidate. That's always how the email starts out. They'll never call you. They'll send you an email. Trust and believe, you'll get an email. You won't have to worry, did they forget about my resume? Are they going to hit me back? Oh no, they're going to hit you back saying, everyone wants equality right now, right? Everyone has to have equality. Has to. Alright? But for who? I don't see it for me. Because I'm black. But why promote fairness and equality, right? When at your roots, that's exactly what it's not about. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, yeah, no one's perfect. Like I said, I'm not going to judge anybody. Period. Who am I to judge anyways, right? Prison is about reform. Not really. I mean, that's the truth of it. You go to prison, they're not worried about what the fuck you doing. They're not worried if you're going to better your life. You know why? Because they're going to make more money when you do come back. You know what I'm saying? So, in place, law has put many things. So, for repeat offenders, right? So, in the United States, the habitual offender laws were first implemented on March 7, 1994. So, what it is, it's part of the United States Justice Department's anti-violence strategy. These laws require both a severe violent felonies and 2 other previous convictions to serve a mandatory life sentence. So, if I go out and I rob somebody, right? Got burglary, okay? Get a burglary charge. Boom. Alright, get out of prison, come back out. Catch another one. Do the same thing. Rob someone for $10 while they're sleeping. Get out, do it again. You're doing a life sentence. Say anything, any charge, any felony, you catch 3 of them bitches, you're doing a life sentence. It doesn't matter if the charges only carry 1 to 3 prison term. Years, 1 to 3. If you catch 3 of them bitches, you're doing life. The percentage of people actually reoffending, I do believe West Virginia's percentage was at 24%. Yes. Recidivism and the tendency of a convicted criminal to repeat or reoffend a crime after already receiving punishment of serving their sentence. So, more or less, the percentage of you, if you have charges, felonies, going out, Doing something again and coming back, and say West Virginia is 24%. South Carolina is 24.5, Florida 24.5, and Virginia sitting at 23.4% as a motherfuckers is going back. You think that's some good numbers? No, not at all. Do the numbers on what nationality those are too, because different states is different. As I keep saying in all my prison videos, every state is different. Certain states you'll see a lot more white people. Certain states you'll see a lot more black people. See a lot more Hispanic people. Every prison system's different. Every jail system's different. My buddy, he lives out in Cali. Their jails are ran just like the prisons. It's very, very racial. Even the counties, it's still very much racial. Here, it's not. It's slack. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? West Coast and East Coast prison systems are completely different, opposed to even Maryland and West Virginia prison systems, and then West Virginia and Virginia prison systems. I mean, I've only been in West Virginia prison systems, but I've got homeboys that have been in Virginia, in Maryland, PA. Every system is different. It's a revolving door. I mean, it's nothing. I've been doing it for years, getting locked up, getting out, getting locked up, getting out. Jail is easier. Prison is very much easier than being on the outside because you have no responsibilities. It's easy time. It is. I'm not gonna lie. I had fun. It's easy time. That's why we end up always going back. It'll start wearing on you. Once you get older, start realizing it starts wearing on you. You gotta think long term. Where are we going? What are we doing 5 years from now? What are we gonna do in 10 years from now? What the fuck am I gonna be doing? Also, it's like, so you expect me to get out in society, pay taxes, whatnot. Law didn't allow felons to actually vote until recently. They just changed law. So as a felon, you couldn't vote for presidency at all. So they could take your tax dollars, right? Keep your money, pay for these politicians. You know what tax dollars pays for. That's dumb. Gun laws. Felons can eventually get their gun rights back. Convicted felons may not possess a firearm, but legislature has proposed a means whereas a convicted felon may, in some circumstances, be entitled to restore his gun rights. Certain circumstances. So, with me, as sentencing day, I had guns, legal guns. Day I turned 21, went, got a couple guns. Sentencing day, judge looked at me and asked me, do you have any firearms? I'm like, yeah. He's like, before you come home, those firearms better be gone out the house, done for. Not in your name. Get your family to get rid of them, sell them. You're not allowed to have them. If you're a hunting man, you use a gun, not going to happen. For protection, if you get caught with a gun, if you get caught near a gun, if you get caught around a gun, you're not allowed to be around any type of gun. It doesn't matter if someone's in your car with a gun, you get pulled over, it's their guns, their legal gun, you're going to prison. It's hard. No guns in the dwelling. So if you get paroled to a house, your parents' house, right? Say you get paroled to your parents' house and your dad's a hunting man, all those guns in the house, they're gonna have to be gone. Completely gone. You know what I'm saying? It's hard when someone goes to prison for whatever it may be, right? Someone to go to prison to get out and then to readapt into society and make it. I'm not saying people don't. People do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? People do make it. But it's hard. It's very, very hard. And whenever someone does fuck up, someone's always there to say, told you so. But no one's there to help nurture, provide, and to help flourish and actually do something. You know what I'm saying? It's if you've ever went to court, for instance, these what do you call them? Public defenders. We call them public pretenders, but so whenever you meet these dudes, normally if you have a lawyer, you and your lawyer will talk multiple days before court date, to figure out what's going on, see out who you are, and blah, blah, blah. Well, with a public defender, you'll meet this man day of court, 10-15 minutes prior to walking into the courtroom, and the first time he's going to know who you are is when you both sit down, opens the binder, and the first thing they more or less ask you is, do you have any criminal past? Or have you ever been for this? Have you ever been arrested for this? They don't ask you none about nothing. They ask you guilty, none of that. They get paid $500 for every misdemeanor conviction and $1,000 for every felony, depending on obviously the severity of the crime and the charge and how much publicity it gets. They're not working for you. They don't give a fuck. I've had all public defenders every time I've ever gotten locked up. I mean, of course, I did what I did every time I got locked up, so of course I'm gonna fucking get screwed. I did it. Yeah, of course I did it. You caught me red-handed. I'm not gonna fight this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, not gonna happen. I mean, other people got different opportunities and shit, but me, I already knew I'm not taking this shit to trial. You got me on camera. You got me on camera, like. But what I can say is, since getting out, when I first got out, I'm not gonna lie, did a lot of bullshit. But whenever you really, really want to try to do something right, it's like it's harder and harder. It's like there's this rubber band pulling you back. You know what I mean? Like me being in the medical field, like I said, I've had a rough journey, trying to prove that I'm acceptable. You know what I'm saying? When I'm working at the urgent care, people, I walk in, you know, I call someone back. The moment they set eyes on me, they're like, how'd you get a job here? What, you think I just walked in off the street? You know what I'm saying? No, I went to school. I know what the fuck I'm doing. It would suck though, right? If I didn't know what I was doing, about to put this needle in your arm. Alright, so I've never done this before. So, we're about to see what's about to happen, alright? Don't move. Don't judge your book by its cover. Please don't do that. Always give someone the benefit of the doubt. Now, obviously, if they mess up, then okay, there's your answer. But don't just X people out on sight. A lot of people are losing opportunities to prove themselves before they can even try to prove themselves. But I do want you to do, this is what I want you to do. What I want you to do, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, hit that bell notification button so you'll be first informed when I upload. As always, Stone Collective Supply Company, we in here. Greatly appreciate your support. As always, I send my utmost love, loyalty, respect. Hope you guys have a good day, a good life. Keep your heads up, and don't let anything keep you down, alright? Take it easy.